Today we got to talk about Nebraska coach Scott Frost, Ohio State coach Ryan Day, the Big Ten, college football, and are we playing or not? And all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I got to talk once again for like the fifth time today, upload a segment on what Nebraska coach Scott Frost, what Ohio State coach Ryan Day, what Iowa coach Kirk Ferentz, and others have had to say about college football and the decision that the Big Ten made and then says it did not made to cancel college football. And we're going to try to find out what's true and what's not. Not in this segment, but we're going to get closer to it because the news is Scott Frost takes to his press conference this afternoon and makes very clear he wants to play football. And he knows that his university president wants to play football. And he would love to play football in the Big Ten Conference. But if they cannot play football in the Big Ten Conference, they are very comfortable looking to other options. That leads to a discussion about what Ohio State is doing, because Ohio State is the crown jewel of the Big Ten Conference and really one of the crown jewels of college football. Ryan Day took to Twitter earlier in the day to say he is fighting with every fiber of his being for his players because they want to play and he wants to play. And in this vote that took place, but then they said didn't take place, everybody but Iowa and Nebraska said they would play. They didn't want to play football. Nebraska and Iowa did not want to play football, and Ohio State is not in that group, and that's why I have a hard time believing this, because everything I know about Ohio State and everybody I trust to know things about Ohio State says, why wouldn't Ohio State want to play football? Now, my opinions on the pandemic are known at this point. If you watch this channel, you know. And I want to leave that in a corner over there. One, because we're not going to agree, and I can deal with that. We're cool. I mean, disagree with me in the comments, please. I want that. Don't be nasty. There's no need to be nasty. Now, for Nebraska to play, let's say that the Big Ten backs down. Cool, we get a Big Ten conference-only season and everybody goes back to doing what they were doing. Though I do believe that the reports were true in that people that I trust in college football, like Pat Forty, like Rick Neuheisel, and others, and then the Detroit Free Press were all going out saying, yeah, we expect to find out that they cancel college football on Tuesday. It's still Monday, so we'll wait, right? But we're already having conversations about Nebraska and Ohio State and others looking to the Big 12 talking about, hey, you guys want to do a league thing just this one time for just the 1 year, kind of like Notre Dame and ACC. And that's interesting because let's say you add Nebraska, Iowa, and Ohio State to the Big 12. Then you got 13 teams, which, is not really that much of a problem in a year in which everybody just wants football. You'd love to get to an even number, but can't get BYU in there because that apparently is a non-starter. But nothing feels like a non-starter right now. This is a wild time in college football because I feel like you could throw almost anything against the wall and it'll stick because nobody has a way of telling you what's true because athletic directors are unwilling to go on the record about their pessimistic views. Same with university presidents. And the ones that are bullish about it in states where they know they want to play football. And many folks, myself included, want to see football played. The idea of player voice here is interesting. The reason that I think it's interesting is because I want players to have a voice. I also know that today they don't. And until you want to see the entire model of college football blown up, they won't, because the system is designed not to take into account anything they have to say. No matter what hashtag they want to tweet, they don't make any decisions. So if the Big Ten decided to cancel college football, what are the players going to do? They could go into the transfer portal, but you don't have enough scholarships to put those kids on. That's a ton. Like, assume there are 85 players on each one of those 14 teams, right? You're already getting into over 1,000 players, easy, before you start to think about where are they all going to go. And if the Pac-12 were to follow suit, that's even fewer places that they could go. They would just be wayward. And the ones that are going to play in the NFL are going to declare it early, and they're going to get themselves ready to play in the NFL. The ones that can't are up a creek. And while I am sympathetic to many of the players that would not have a place to go, I am also sympathetic to Americans across the country who don't have jobs. Joe Burrow had a tweet earlier today where he said, man, I can't imagine what it must be like to be a college football player at this time, because if we didn't have a season last year, I'm probably looking for a job instead of being the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft, signing a contract worth millions of dollars. To which I say, Joe Burrow is the exception. He's not the rule. We are the rule. Nobody owes you anything. That's the really seedy underbelly of America. Nobody wants to give you a handout. Nobody wants to make sure that you're okay, except perhaps me. I want to make sure that everybody's okay, but nobody owes you anything. And anything that you get, you earn, or at the very least comes out of somebody else's good graces. But if it puts them in harm's way, we've already got data to show that they will pick themselves over you, which is another way of saying those players would be doing what many of us already do, and quite frankly, what many college football players are going to do. Now, put aside the top prospects like Joe Burrow, and think about the walk-ons that might ascend into being captains of their team but won't play at the next level. They're respected, they're beloved. I hurt for them as well, because this is a season for which they wanted to make a mark, for which they wanted to create some memories. And I get that. And if Nebraska and Ohio State and Iowa and the like are fighting for that, I can get behind it. I mean, even Jim Harbaugh is coming out going, no, on August 10th, I want to play football. I think we can do this safely. And put aside that part of the conversation for a second. If it wasn't such big money, I wouldn't be so cynical about this, right? Because these coaches stand to make millions of dollars. These players stand to just go play. And I'm thinking about the end of Friday, or not the end of Friday Night Lights, but a very important part of Friday Night Lights. Don Billingsley's dad is talking with his son about what he doesn't get. That state championship, that one stinking year that is your senior year of high school, you're 18, is the only thing you're going to have left and the only thing you're going to hold on to. And it carries you forever. I want to live in a world where that's not true. I don't want your crowning achievement to be something that happened to you when you were 18 or 23. I want that to be further down the road. Perhaps kids, perhaps a job that you didn't think you were going to get. Perhaps you are able to look around when you're 60 years old and see a life lived and not just a moment in it. I love college football. You love college football. I want to believe that all of this is leading toward a good resolution where people are happy. And if that's what Nebraska and Ohio State and Iowa can get us to, fine. I'm going to be cynical about it because that's my nature. But it is not my intent to take away your joy, or my own for that matter. It is my intent to be as clear-eyed about this situation and informed about this situation as I possibly can be, because there are quite literally lives on the line. You can't afford to get this math wrong, and you can't afford to just write it off as saying people make decisions all the time. Otherwise, we would say that people get to commit suicide, and we don't feel anything about it. We do. We want to prevent it. We have ways of preventing it, or we try to prevent it. We don't have ways of preventing it. We have ways that we try to prevent it. And as long as we're continuing to try to do those things, cool. But you got to show me how you're going to be able to take care of the student body that you're having on campus and the college football players at the same time. And right now, nobody has been able to do that accurately without throwing stuff at the wall and say, think about this. No, I want to see a plan. I want to see it enacted, and I want to know we can trust these men. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.